just turned on to Sheets Road. I actually went back to the farm, picked up Garrett. He's gonna give us a hand here, picking up some of these oil barrels. And it's looking a little different here, ain't it?
Yeah,
It's cleaned up.
Different.
A little bit. So we're gonna pull up here, and this building right to our left is the building that has the oil barrels in it, and it is getting tore down. Father's right to our right with the excavator, and we're gonna see if we can't get staged here somewhere. Maybe right here would be good. It's not bad, is it? This site here, right to our left, is where the old cow barn used to stand, and it burned down about, well, maybe 3 years ago. And tailgate up. My father, it looks like he's tore out part of the driving floor over there, so he's gonna clean all that up. And we're basically just kind of excavating things here and getting things squared up to kind of clean up things a little bit. But you can see this old cow barn here was pretty close to the road. I'll see if I can dig up some pictures from what this used to look like here years ago. I think it was an L-shaped barn. There's an old corn crib over there on the other side. They've cleaned that up already. And there used to be a grain dryer in that little building between the first and the second bin. We sold that, and we might be selling those grain bins as well. They're just too far away from home to use them. We did put oats in that one bin here last year, but they are currently empty right now. And then we've got that old silo to do something with. I knock her down. So, we better get to it, right, Garrett? Yeah. So the old milk house stood right about in here somewhere. He ripped that out, and there wasn't much room to get into this blue building here that we have straw in right now. And then there was a bunch of trees and whatever that he's picked up on this other side of the road here. And there used to be an old barn of some kind there as well. What he's doing now is just kind of excavating out what used to be the driving floor, maybe, I think he said. Right there, so get things cleaned up here, and then we've got some brush to burn and whatever. So what we need to do here is we need to grab these various oil barrels here. I think about all of them except that one. That one. We've got various barrels here that are full, and we're gonna have to get rid of them. So what we probably should do, why don't you go over and get that wagon, and we'll put this other crap in it, and we can burn the burnables. And yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and get picking up here. So we're having to pick up a lot of crap here first before we can get up to these barrels of oil. We did come across a couple of horse hitching systems. I think this here, I think you call this part a whipple tree. Other than that, it's the rest of the 2-horse hitch to whatever you're going to be hooking onto as far as somewhat of a implement goes. So we probably should save those. They're probably worth something in the antique market, but we're gonna throw them out because we really don't have time to monkey around with that. But we're finding all kinds of just junk, nothing to any value. There is a Ford hubcap there though. That goes to a 3/4 ton or a 1 ton. 1980s Ford pickup. That would probably go to an XLT because that's got the chrome on it.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah. So he's getting things leveled off across the road there. Got a lot of bony stones over there, and he's just trying to flatten out, and then he'll have that all groomed nicely, and we can get on there with a bush hog someday and bush hog the weeds down and whatever. But that was brush that ran from that power pole there all the way up through. You couldn't even see that bump from the road there, and that just makes it a little nicer. What do you think, Sarah? Have we cleaned up enough junk?
I think so.
Yeah. All right, we are gonna head back to the farm now and unload these oil barrels. We've got this Weber Lane wagon loaded about as full as we can get it, and my father's gonna take this down and dump it. It's got mostly burnables on it. This wagon we have had it about 2 weeks. I'll drop a clip in here now from when we got it brand new. I kind of go over the particulars on it. And we've got maybe 10 or 12 oil barrels in the back of the truck there that we're going to go home and unload. And in the meantime, my father's going to finish grading this over across the road here. That is smoothed out considerably well. While we were over here loading up these oil barrels, he kind of took all that bony material and kind of mixed it in there pretty good. And now he's just fine-tuning things here a little bit. And I'm thinking he's gonna end up knocking this shed down while we're gone. I don't know if we'll be able to get any of that on video or not, unless you want to stay over here, video it. No? You could stand right here with the camera and you could narrate.
I'm good.
You're good?
Yeah.
So you could just help us unload these barrels then, right? Yeah. All right, we're gonna head back to the farm. You ready? Yeah. We've got the forks in the back of the truck because we only have one set of them. And we'll have to get these unloaded, and then we can load up with scrap iron again. I really don't know how we're gonna fit this into a video because we're not gonna be quite ready to use this right at the moment. But this is a wagon that we're gonna use for cleaning up hedgerows and picking stone and stuff like that. We've got a couple of smaller wagons that we use for picking stones and, you know, cleaning up hedgerow debris and whatever, and they're just not heavy enough. The floors, the damn floors in them are shaped like a U anymore, just from dumping in big rocks and whatever. This is a Weber Lane. It's a WBLT 25 is the model. WLDT 25. It has a I want to say the floor is at least 1/4 of an inch thick, maybe even 5/16. But this is a slightly larger unit than what those other wagons that we have. We'll go ahead and dump it here quick, and then we need to get to the field and try to maybe shell some corn. It has brakes on it. The rear axle has brakes. There's a hydraulic little cylinder on the slack adjuster there. It's got drum brakes on it, kind of like a truck with a S-cam and slack adjuster there and whatever. So we'll go ahead and dump this quick, and then I've got to get to the field. The tailgate is hooked into the linkage of that tail hinge, and that tailgate is automatically opening up as the bed is dumping, so that should work pretty good for keeping any kind of debris inside the wagon itself when you go to dump it in the woods or dump it wherever you're going to dump it. My uncle, he has one of these wagons as well. And that dump's pretty steep. That has probably a 60-degree dump angle. I better go and kick this hydraulic back into neutral here. So it has twin telescopic cylinders, and I believe that this has a 25-ton dump capacity. Looks like those cross members are on like 16-inch centers, possibly, maybe. And it looks like this is quite a rugged design for hauling stone and doing demolition type work. We were going to make something similar to this out of that chassis or the undercarriage from that old Supreme mixer, and we still might do that anyways, just so we can have a couple of these. But the tailgate's kind of a neat design. It's kind of incorporated in with the dump mechanism of the tipping effect of it. But here's the thickness of the floor. That's all of a quarter of an inch, and I don't know if it's AR plate or not. I would have to look up the specs on that to see if they are, if it's actual abrasion resistant steel. But even if it's not, the old ones, they were either 10 gauge or 3/16, and the cross members were real weak. They were mainly just formed channels, and the floors all went to hell in them. And this unit acts like it's gonna do the job for us. So we're gonna go ahead and get to the field and see if we can't shell some corn. We got some snow overnight here and a little bit this morning, and I'm afraid there's gonna be a little bit of snow on the corn still here, but we're gonna try it anyways. So we've just turned around here up at the parlor, and now we're going back down by this old cow barn here. And things are starting to look a little different over here. And here comes Mike, one of the employees from over to this farm. Like I was saying, right here is the old cow barn that burned down 3 or 4 years ago. And then the milk house somewhere in about where the telehandler's sitting, and there was a cement block that the milk truck backed up against. I could be wrong though. The milk house might not have been there, but I'm assuming it was. But things are squaring up here. Well, we are just getting back over here, and the building is down on the ground now. So we're gonna pick through this here and grab all the tin and load it on this truck here. Well, that looks a lot better and all knocked down, huh? Okay, all right. Yeah, we won't have, and then we can come around the other side there with a telehandler and grab the hand stuff. So, all right. Well, he made quick work of that, didn't he? You know what we need to get, and I forgot to grab it? Did all them little glass jars come in? Them little glass jars that we're gonna put stuff in and sell? Yeah, we forgot to bring those little glass jars over. So I figured that, you know, we could take remnants of this cleanup project and put it in little glass jars and sell it. But the viewer's not gonna know that it's not from here, so we'll just fill the jars up with some junk at home and sell it, right? They won't know the difference. I mean, you know. Well, that truck is just about loaded, but he's gonna be able to push that right down in there, and he's only got this little bit left here to put on, and then we'll grab this timber, put that on the yellow wagon, and hopefully we can get this all cleaned up here tonight. And yeah. Oh, that stuff is just thawed out enough to where they're able to pull it up out of the gutters. Come on, Sarah, don't be a girl. Pull that up out of there. It's probably froze more towards the corner, isn't it? Oh, this is a Butler building. Got a sign on it right there. And I'm guessing that this building was here first, and then they built this building here later on. That gutter is plugged all the way down through. And you can see we got quite a bit of crop. I don't know if that's foxtail or just brome grass. Probably brome grass growing down there. Got quite the heavy crop growing there. There was a cable that went across from one side of the barn to the other, and that's still tight. He's trying to break it. There's a piece of pipe. Oh, he dumped that in there. A little bit of wire. There's wire there. Yeah, you got it. Saves picking all that stuff up by hand, that's for sure. It's got some purlins hooked to a post. There he goes. Some wires there. Yeah, looks like we're gonna have a load on there in a minute. I gotta move, you guys. Running this camera is like, takes too much time. Yeah. Well, these guys have got almost to the end of cleaning this gutter out, and it's the fullest down to this end because it all runs this way. There isn't even a downspout on it. It just comes off this end. It acts like there used to be a downspout that went down alongside the building there, and it probably drifted out that way underneath them pine trees. My father's got maybe another load of lumber like type stuff here to clean up. He's just getting ready to take this wagon down and dump it here now. Maybe we'll stick you guys to the flasher bracket here, and you can see this wagon here dump. You gotta take this down and dump it? I'll stick this right to the flasher arm there. I'll stick this camera right to the flasher arm for you. I guess this is gonna about do it for this video. He's got that load there to clean up. And we've got to come down through here and excavate this out here. The doors must have blown off this end of the building at some point in time. And then we've got some stuff in the end of this pole barn here to clean up as well. Mainly burnable stuff. You know, there's some various things here, but it's mainly junk. And then we ended up putting straw in this building when we were baling the straw over here. So probably another day or so and we would have all this here cleaned up. Now, like I was saying earlier, this was the old cow barn here, and then they got a manure push-off ramp right there, and I don't know how they got in to this manure room. I don't think they came in this way. There wouldn't have been enough room, so they must have backed in from there or something. I don't really know how this whole barn layout was. I'm assuming that the milk house was right there, but I could be wrong. There was a drive-in floor going up through there, I think, to get in the upstairs part of the barn. And I almost want to say this barn was L-shaped. There was like a Google map of this barn here that I seen at one time, and I don't know if I could find an old photo or not. Got a well right there, and I don't know if we're gonna take that silo down or not. We could try to, I don't know, we could hook that long cable on it that we got, knock the bottom out, and get it on the ground. It's somewhat structurally sound. It does have a big gaping hole in it, but that would stand a long time the way it is. However, it is somewhat in the way. Now, when we were doing corn over here one night, I brought a load of corn down through this driveway to put in this barn, and I come down through here and I thought sure I was going to slide right into that blue building. We were lucky to not have that problem, and then it was a real booger to get into this building off the end here as well. There is a set of doors on this side that we've got to get fixed up and whatever, but that is gonna do it for this one, folks. All right, take it easy. We'll catch you at the next one. Sun's starting to go down, and yeah, right? Yep. Yeah.